I think we can all agree that Buu was kinda wasted in Super, at least until the Moro arc, and even then he kinda got sidelined a bit. To be fair though, if you think about it, he'd be incredibly broken if he did keep training and was part of the main story. I feel like part of the reason he wasn't so active was because of that. So there was two choices of what to do with Buu, either nerf him or sideline him, because realistically he would solve everything if he was part of the fights. But how about we change that today? A scenario where Buu's not only active in the story, but where he's training more and more. And I'm not talking about just the Tournament of Power or something, I'm talking about the entirety of Super. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. This may be a two-parter, so if we do hit that like goal, I'll continue with another part to this story. Anyways, let's begin this scenario. In terms of a starting point, the most obvious pick is after Battle of Gods. Now I could start after the Buu saga, during that little time skip before Battle of Gods, but I feel like this would work better, not only because this wouldn't really affect Battle of Gods much, but because of the fact that this will serve as an inspiration for Buu. And I'm sure you're wondering, what part of Battle of Gods is going to inspire him to train more? Well, it's kind of a goofy reason, but with Buu, nothing's really too goofy. All Buu really amounted to in Battle of Gods was making Beerus angry over some pudding. But I'm sure that whole fight with the pudding riled Buu up as well. I mean, think about it. Buu loves food, and he was really angry when Beerus tried to take his pudding. Maybe he'd be really pissed about it. Sure, he got the pudding in the end. But the fact that someone even tried to stand up to him and take it, that doesn't sit right with Buu. What if he's ever in a scenario like that again, where he's eating some food and someone wants to take it? He needs to be strong enough to defend not only himself, but his food. So immediately after this, Buu decides that he's going to start training more, putting his power to use for once. But you know what? He's not really too sure where to start. Buu's never trained a day in his life. Like, he knows how to fight, has some pretty good techniques, and has some great power. But in terms of training, he doesn't even know where to begin. But he has the perfect solution for that. His best friend, Mr. Satan. Even though Buu's completely different from him, not only in terms of power, but in terms of how he's built, Mr. Satan could probably work out some sort of training plan for him. He heard that Vegeta and then Goku went to that purple Catman's planet. Maybe Buu can go there, but Buu doesn't want to. He's still kinda mad at Beerus for trying to take his pudding. He would rather train here on Earth with his friend. So, he begins the workout, with Mr. Satan coaching him along the way. And surprisingly, Buu gets on track pretty quickly. I mean, he even did this later on in Dragon Ball Super. Right before the Tournament of Power, he was basically doing this exact thing. And immediately they begin seeing results. Not only does Buu get a lot stronger, but he even gets more in shape. Although I'm sure this wouldn't really be too long lasting because he'd probably eat a lot right after his training. But occasionally he will have that weight loss, which is weird, but cool. And like I mentioned before, once you actually think about it, Buu getting involved in the story will make a lot of things really easy, and we're first going to see this in Resurrection F. Frieza's planned his revenge for so long. Not only is he finally back to life, but he's trained for 4 months, getting a lot stronger than before, ready to take on those Saiyans. But when he gets on Earth, he's not only greeted with the Z fighters, but a pretty terrifying sight. One of the two people that his father warned him about, Majin Buu. He doesn't even recognize this fighter at first until people mention it. And it's weird because Buu doesn't really look too intimidating. But surely his father warned him for a reason, right? And he learns pretty soon that he probably shouldn't be underestimating Buu. He watches as the entire Frieza force is wiped out. Sure, the Z fighters do get some hits in, defeating a couple soldiers here and there. But Buu gets kinda bored and Mr. Satan gives him the green light. And basically within an instant, all of Frieza's army is turned into candy, with Buu eating everyone. Gohan, Piccolo, and the others just look on kinda dumbfounded. Yeah, they forgot Buu could do that. This fight might actually be a lot easier than they thought. Okay, well, Frieza's not too deterred yet. Those are just weakling soldiers. They're not him. Frieza steps onto the battlefield and begins chuckling to himself, and immediately Buu launches a candy beam at him. Frieza narrowly dodges it but gets really mad. How absurd. Right away this insolent moron is trying to turn him into candy. Where's the respect for the Emperor? It looks like he will have to face Majin Buu after all, so he starts out by transforming into his final form. Buu senses that he got stronger, but it's still nothing that he can't handle. And if anything, Buu is starting to get excited. This is the first time he's had a real fight in a while. He gives off a menacing grin, which makes Frieza actually kinda scared. Buu launches towards him and begins pummeling Frieza. Kinda underwhelmed with how little Frieza's trying to defend himself. But as he keeps beating the Emperor up, he's briefly blinded by a flash of golden light. And within an instant, Frieza has now turned golden, standing there breathing heavily, while also a bit beaten up. He should have gone full power from the start. It was a mistake to underestimate the Majin. Now Buu could easily end this fight by either absorbing Frieza or turning him into candy or something. But first of all, that would risk Frieza having an influence on him once he gets absorbed. He knows to avoid this. And second of all, that wouldn't really be fun. And Buu really wants to have fun. Again, it's his first fight in a while, so he's gonna make sure to enjoy it. The two clash midair as the others watch on. They comment on Buu's strength. They didn't expect that he got this strong in such a little time. I mean, they knew he had amazing potential and power, but it's crazy to actually see him in battle again, not only just because of the spectacle, but because he's on their side this time. Frieza's attacks do actually cause more damage to Buu now, and by damage, I mean they leave a mark and instantly get healed by the Majin. And Buu's not angered at all by it, he just keeps laughing. He's amazed at his own strength, and he's having fun in the battle. Frieza thinks this guy might have a real pea brain. This fool doesn't seem to realize that Earth is at stake right now, and Frieza tells him to take the fight seriously. Buu says he is taking it seriously, that's why he's showing off all this power. This only serves to anger Frieza more and more. This babbling simpleton is mocking him. He tells Buu that's a big mistake. Frieza tells Buu that he's not only going to wipe him out, but Earth as well, including everyone on it. Frieza keeps shouting at Buu out of his anger, but notices that he might have said too much, threatening that he'd blow up Earth and kill everyone. Yeah, Buu's not going to take too kindly to that. His happy demeanor instantly changes, and he looks at Frieza angrily. Steam comes out of his head, and he yells at Frieza saying that he'll pay for that. Frieza doesn't seem to realize that he just sent Buu into a temper tantrum. And Buu was not kidding. Frieza does pay for it. Within seconds, he lands multiple powerful attacks on Frieza, then shouting as he lifts his hands up, causing a massive explosion that wipes out Frieza completely. And just like that, the battle is over, with everyone watching on speechless. And from Beerus' planet, everyone could sense this as well. They thought that Earth might need help at first, but then they realized that Buu was there. Wow, it seems like he's gotten pretty strong in the past few months. It's a good thing they didn't need to go there to help everyone. And naturally what follows is the Universe 6 tournament, and the team's going to be pretty much the same. Buu was on it regardless, but this time I'm going to make a minor tweak, one that doesn't shaft Buu from the tournament. He actually passes the test this time, and he participates in the tournament. The thing is here, with the Universe 6 tournament, this isn't really going to change much. Assuming we're keeping the same order and all, that would mean Buu's the second to last fighter to participate in the tournament. So a lot of it pretty much goes like normal. This would change nothing about the first few fights. And that's what gets everyone pretty worried. Goku's eliminated really early on due to Frost, and the rest of the fights go normal, which leads to Vegeta getting defeated by Head as well, meaning it's up to Majin Buu to defeat him, if not Monaka. Although from what they heard, Monaka's pretty strong, but Monaka's betting on Majin Buu winning this for him. Hopefully, or else he's probably gonna die out there. Now this would be a really weird matchup. Head has his time skip, while Buu has access to a lot of magic, and in terms of strength, both of them are pretty much equally strong. It's basically a test of techniques. And to be honest, Buu has the better ones. Time skip is amazing, but Hit realizes right away that it won't be enough to defeat Buu. Using time skip, he's able to land a few punches on him, but of course the Majin can just brush it off and heal from it. Hit is surprised at Buu's strength, so he starts using more and more of his power. And again, Buu does take some damage, but instantly regenerates it. It's like it never even happened. But he has a pretty good idea of how to counter this. Buu then starts grabbing chunks of himself, throwing them at Hit. Hit is easily able to dodge them, assuming that Buu's trying to constrain him somehow. But that's not actually the case. All the blobs of Buu behind him start morphing into more Buus. And then Hit realizes what's happening. Buu has just multiplied himself a bunch of times. There's dozens of Buus in the ring right now. Yeah, Hit might have impressive time abilities, but how is he going to fight dozens of other people at once? Especially when he doesn't know who's the real Buu and how strong these other Buus are. All the Buus begin swarming him. Hit tries to fend them off, defeating some of them as they vanish, while also realizing that some of them are actually physically there. Some of them grab his legs, and then his arms, as those Majin Buus then morph into pink blobs that surround Hit, keeping him constrained in one place. And the constraints are too tight, he can't move his arms or legs. And of course, that leaves him open for an attack from Buu. At full power nonetheless, Hit's able to tank the attack, closing his eyes as it makes contact, but once he opens them, he sees that he's outside of the ring. And with this ring out, Majin Buu wins the tournament for them. It seems Buu really has improved, not only in terms of his raw strength, but in the way that he actually uses his abilities. The craziest part is he didn't even really use magic in this fight. He just used the fact that he can split himself to his advantage. And it's not like Buu's smarts are only going to come in handy here, they're going to come in handy in the next arc as well. Now even though Zamasu would be watching the tournament, and he'd see that Buu wins, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to steal Buu's body. Sure, he does seem strong and his techniques seem nice, but he doesn't know if this monster could surpass the gods at all, or at least he tries to tell himself that. If anything, he'd still be more interested in Goku and Vegeta. And since he didn't really get to see Goku at his full power here, I'd say in this scenario, he'd lean more towards stealing Vegeta's body, which is exactly what he does. And at first, the events of the arc go pretty normally. The only big difference is the fact that Trunks sees Vegeta there causing all the havoc, which would be much more shocking than just Goku Black. Although, Trunks would be able to easily tell that this isn't really Vegeta. This is not only something that Vegeta wouldn't do, but it's just impossible. Not only is Vegeta dead in this timeline, but it wouldn't make sense for the other Vegeta to come back here and do this. He knows it's a faker, and that's really the only thing that's keeping him sane right now. So, the introduction to this arc happens pretty normally, with Trunks going back in time, telling everyone about what's happening. Buu's actually a little bit uninvolved here. The main focus right now is actually Vegeta and Trunks. Vegeta back travels back in time trying to follow Trunks, and Vegeta doesn't take too kindly to this. Of course, that means he's going to be the one to fight the imposter, angered by the fact that someone's even trying to impersonate him. Unlike Goku Black, Vegeta Black made this a lot more personal. At least for him. Vegeta fights the fake clone, going up into Super Saiyan and then eventually Super Saiyan 2. Surprised at the strength of him, even in base, he's able to fend Vegeta off, but then Vegeta jumps into Super Saiyan God. completely blowing Vegeta Black away, and he's ready to finish this off. He sticks a hand out, charging a Big Bang attack. But just as soon as he launches it, Vegeta Black goes back to his timeline, narrowly escaping the attack. Vegeta curses this. He almost had him. But next time he'll definitely defeat this imposter. Sorry that I'm kind of rushing through this a bit, but it's more so that I want to focus on Buu rather than Vegeta, although it is important to cover all this stuff. The whole investigation with Zamasu happens like normal, as everyone then goes into the future, once again encountering Vegeta Black. And even though Zamasu is in a different body, a lot of this is still going to go normal. He's going to get Super Saiyan Rose, he'll get a lot stronger, and everyone's going to try to fight him to no avail. As much as Vegeta would love to destroy him right now, he simply can't. So they go back to the past again, this time needing someone else to recruit, Majin Buu. Buu hears about this and is glad to help. He doesn't really know what's going on, and he's kind of confused when he hears it explained to him. But hey, a chance to fight? He's not going to turn that down. Now the only issue is they don't know how they're supposed to fit him in the time machine. That's no problem. Buu chuckles, and then compresses himself into a really small Majin Buu. Oh yeah, they forgot he could do weird things with his body like that. And now they could board the ship with the tiny Majin Buu in tow. He says goodbye to Mr. Satan, telling his friend that he'll make this quick. If anything, Trunks is actually really surprised to see Majin Buu here. Not only was Majin Buu revived in this timeline, but he's good. He thought Majin Buu was supposed to be pure evil. Goku tells Trunks that it's a long story. He'll have to explain it to Trunks later once they're not under threat. From all he's heard about Majin Buu, Trunks is really surprised to hear that they trust Buu. But hey, if he's been around Earth for years and hasn't destroyed stuff, maybe the trust is in the right place. They head to the future much more prepared, and with Majin Buu now. The main problem now is Zamasu. With Vegeta Black, they could at least try and figure out a way to kill him, but with Zamasu, there is no way to do that. And that's where Majin Buu comes in. They know Buu has a bunch of weird abilities, and they tell him to do whatever it takes to seal Zamasu. But they warn him, don't waste time with him. Buu does want to fight Zamasu, but in order to stop him from doing this, they tell him that Zamasu's not really that strong anyways. The real treat is Vegeta Black. As they arrive in the future, Buu gets excited. He's gonna enjoy himself here. And just like everyone warned him, he doesn't hesitate. Like, really, he doesn't hesitate at all. Now, Buu actually does have an ability to seal people, thanks to the Grand Supreme Kai, but since he's not awoken yet, Buu might not have access to that, and even if he did, who knows if he could use it. However, he still does have a way to stop Zamasu. And just as Zamasu and Goku Black appear, Buu quickly launches a beam at Zamasu, as he's then turned into a cookie, as Buu extends his arm out to grab it and eat it. Everyone's just equally confused, especially Vegeta Black. Was Zamasu just turned into a cookie? No, there has to be some form of trickery. There's no way that actually just happened, right? But he watches as Buu continues crunching on the cookie. Interesting flavor. He should make Kai cookies more often. And Trunks sees this as their opportunity. They don't know if Zamasu is going to survive that somehow or get out of it, but while they have the chance, they at least need to try and take out Vegeta Black. They take advantage of the imposter's confusion, as the four of them all gang up on him. Vegeta Black quickly transforms into Super Saiyan Rose, trying his best to fend off everyone. And he is able to deal some damage to the others. But there's kind of an issue with that. When he hurts them, especially if he hurts them badly, they could just be healed. It's literally just like him with Zamasu. With Majin Buu there, if anyone does get hurt, they get healed right away. But that doesn't even happen too much. He's able to stab Vegeta, but is then immediately attacked by Goku and Trunks in response, with Buu quickly healing Vegeta. That only really served to piss Vegeta off, but the nice thing is, he got a little stronger for it, and he's ready to finish this now. He powers back up into blue, charging all of his energy. He creates a massive shockwave as he dashes across the city, hitting Vegeta Black square in the face with a punch. And in his other hand, he throws a piece of Majin Buu at Vegeta Black, which wraps around the imposter, restraining both his arms. And Vegeta takes no chance. He cups his hands and electricity courses through the area, as he charges a massive final flash, launching it off into space. And Vegeta Black has no chance of surviving this. He's killed right on the spot, with Vegeta claiming victory thanks to some help from Majin Buu, as well as Goku and Trunks. Trunks thanks everyone for their help, and it seems they were right about Majin Buu. Now Trunks' timeline is back to normal, and while everyone celebrates, there is one thing I want to mention. It's not like Zamasu is dead. He was turned into a cookie, but it doesn't mean he was killed. Now, since he was turned into candy and not actually absorbed, he's inside Majin Buu, but it's not like Buu's transforming into Buu-Masu or whatever. But Zamasu is still in there, and is still alive, albeit in cookie form, and in a bunch of little pieces. And who knows, maybe he'll find a way to puppeteer Buu. Although, we're going to be saving that for the next part. This is where we leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about the first part to this scenario? And what do you think will happen next time in the finale? Leave any thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part to this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon and get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.